Hey team, we're going to be analysing 4 JST Athletes workouts and watching go head to head for 22.1. The 4 athletes we have are Georgia Radley, Dan Duggan, Reggie Fasa and Lee Dalton. Emma Toll is also in Reggie's video as well. So kicking things off, good fast starts from everyone. Wall walks, you can see Reggie's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When we watch Georgia, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps into the wall. Reggie's got a faster hand speed, Georgia has kind of a slower hand speed into the wall, but taking slightly bigger steps will potentially be more efficient going forward than more more steps into the wall. So on the dumbbell snatch here, Reggie's first off, closely followed by Emma. Emma's got great technique here on these, and so does Georgia, to be fair as well. See, your body stays pretty upright, she stays really low. As soon, she jumps far enough over the box as well, that foot can just slide straight off, and then as soon as the second foot meets the floor, she's springing back up. That's like perfect. It's exactly what we want on them box jump overs, and that's probably Emma's strongest movement there. So she overtook Reggie. Reggie was first off the dumbbell snatch before Emma, but Emma was first off the box. On Reggie's wall walks here, so notice his feet, they kind of slide down as he starts to push back into the wall. If you watch Emma and Ella, we posted a video of Ella doing her wall walks. She's very rigid, and as soon as when you watch Emma and Ella, it's almost borderline between the hands, the feet going both on the wall, and then the first hand moving off the line. But to get a world-class time and be really fast on these wall walks, you've got to be playing with that borderline. And I feel like Reggie can do that a little bit better on the wall walks, is making sure that as soon as the feet are on, that first hand is looking to move and his feet are still moving up the wall, rather than the kind of feet being all over the place and just sliding down. So that's where I feel like Reggie can be a bit more efficient on his wall walks. So again, just watch Reggie here again. See his feet just kind of don't go anywhere on his first couple of steps. And again, it's taking him 5 steps, so he's keeping that 5 steps throughout. Let's look top left again at Georgia. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little slower, but again quite efficient, and drops her feet fast as soon as her hands touch the line, which is good, because that again means less time in attention. Shoulders are going to be fresher going into the latter part of the workout. Let's just next look at Lee doing some wall walks. So he's going down here, bottom left for a set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, similar to Reggie. Notice his hands are quite wide though when he comes into the wall. So ideally, whenever we're doing handstand walks or doing anything where we're going upside down, the hands ideally want to be stacked underneath the shoulders to be as efficient as possible. If you're wider with your hands, so let's take a snatch grip overhead for example, and a jerk grip overhead. If you were to hold a bar overhead in a snatch grip for a max amount of time, and the jerk grip for a max amount of time, the jerk grip's going to win, because it's just a better stacked position, it's easier for the shoulders. Whereas if you're wider, again, you're having to use a little bit more energy. It's the same when we come to doing handstand work. So keeping the hands directly underneath the shoulders as much as possible is just more efficient. And again, because they're staying under the shoulder as well, that means you're probably going to make more distance, whereas if they're wider, it's less distance that you're going to probably make towards the line into the wall. Let's look at Dan now. So top right, he's having a rest in between movements. Staying in that push-up position is going to mean the shoulders are under tension for more time. Again, you're really going to feel the effects of that later in the workout if you're spending a lot more time in that position. It's good, he's put his arms, he's decided he needs a bit more of a break. Dan goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a little shuffle. So he's taking 6 steps. So again, just more steps as well into the wall. It's kind of like, just see that as more reps per rep or per wall walk, which again is probably going to mean a little bit less efficient and the shoulders getting a little bit more tired quite quickly. So looking at Georgia on these box jump overs again now, again just looks the same as the first round, super efficient. What I'd like to see a little bit more from Georgia on the box jump overs is her staying a little bit more laterally onto the box. So you'll see in a second, when Emma goes onto them, she stays really lateral. Come back to it in a sec. Let's just wait for Emma to get onto that box. So Georgia kind of faces it like Dan does on the top right a little bit more, but she's just a little bit quicker in between the reps. Whereas Emma, she's staying laterally, she's staying low, she's very quick. As soon as that second foot touches the floor, she's bounding back up. If we look at Lee on the bottom left, he's having to kind of face the box more, jump, and then kind of turn while he gets that leg off. He's a shorter athlete, so again it's going to be a little bit harder. Same for Reggie on the bottom right now. He's having to face the box more and then turn as he's coming off. Again, it just means rep speed is a little bit slower. If you can get comfortable just bounding laterally onto the box, it's going to make a huge difference. Again, coming back to Georgia on the top left, faces the box, jumps, turns. Faces the box, jumps, turns. But again, just that little bit more efficient than the rest of the guys on the box as well. You probably find that on the leaderboard, I wouldn't be surprised if on average the girls' scores were better than the guys' scores for the most part. Girls putting in top, more top scores. It was similar on the wall walk double under one last year. And I think it'll be the same on this one as well. I feel like wall walks and box jump overs are just suit girls a little bit more, in the sense that the box is a little bit lower, so they don't need to kind of jump as high, so rep speed can be a little bit quicker there. I feel like women on wall walks just tend to be more efficient because they can get into the positions earlier, better as well, and that means they can kind of move better on wall walks. The dumbbell snatch, pretty routine. Just have to be aware that just being accurate, making sure that both heads of the dumbbell are touching the floor, each time on every rep. For me on dumbbell snatches, a big thing is if you don't have to round your back as much, you can keep more air in your lungs, whereas if you're having to kind of hinge forward and round your back more, because you're rounding your back, it kind of knocks some air out of your lungs while you're doing that. So like I say, if you can keep a flatter back and send your bum back a bit more and have a little bit of bend at the knee on dumbbell snatches, you probably find that you can control your breathing more and you'll move. Your heart rate won't kind of spike as much. So looking at Reggie here, you can see he rounds his back quite a bit. Big thing for Reggie that we emphasise on a day-to-day basis is just moving more efficiently. And we know that if we just continue to work on Reggie's efficiency and movements, he will just become a much better athlete, and he has done over this past year or so. He's just started to move so much better, but there's just always little things that he can work on that are just going to make him more efficient as an athlete, just like that dumbbell snatch tip there. So Dan's back on his wall walks here, so coming up to that last 6 minutes or so, having to rest long between his reps. Hands went out, come back in, going back up. How many steps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So getting to 8 now. So a few more steps, almost than what he did before. I'd like to see bigger steps into the wall or something that he should be working in training is more steps into the wall, less steps into the wall, sorry. And then Georgia, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, sticking to 4 steps, which is good. Straight off the floor, 1, 2, 3, 4, and again, it's great. Just every rep looks the same, and she's straight off the floor every time, which is again awesome to see. Lee on his box jump overs here. Again, that little bit of hinging forward, again, just knocks that air out of the lungs a little bit more. So you see he's having to do that, having to hinge forward a little bit more. Getting it harder being a shorter athlete. But if you can stay more upright in those box jump overs, it does make things that little bit easier. Again, Dan is still keeping that foot just sliding off the box, which is great to see. Again, that's just going to stop his legs blowing up quite as much, which is good, especially at this point in the workout. He's keeping doing that very well. Again, it's just being strict with that rest in between the reps, minimising that as much as possible, because the quicker you react on each rep, the more you're going to get from that stretch reflex. So again, just going down 10, we're on the bottom right. She still looks the same. As soon as that second foot touches the floor, she's straight back up. And again, she's staying, pretty upright. She's not having to lean forward too much. And by minimising the jump up that she does and staying low in the box, again, she's only putting as much energy into each rep as she needs to. So we're into this last 4 minutes now. Strategy wise, what we kind of said to the athletes was them first 2 rounds were going to be a little quicker. And then that middle chunk after the second round, which probably was like 2 minutes in, 2 to 3 minutes in, and kind of that last 3 to 5 minutes or so, every round should ideally be the same. So as an example, I think Emma's first couple of rounds were kind of maybe 106 and 110, and then I think she dropped to 115 roughly as a guide per round for that middle chunk, and then the last 3 rounds picked up the pace. And that's kind of, if you imagine it like a 2k or a 5k row, that's how you'd attack that workout as well. You get your sprint starting, you start off a little faster, you ease into a pace, and then for them that last chunk of the workout, last kind of 3 to 5 minutes, you start to put the afterburners on, you start to put your foot down and empty the tank, whatever you've got left. And that's exactly the same as what we wanted in this workout. You should have had enough energy in the tank that last 3 to 5 minutes to be able to put the foot down. So if you go back and check your rounds and how long each round was, if you found out that you paced it like that, you probably paced it pretty well. So we're into this last 2 minutes now. You can see everyone's rep speed is starting to increase here. So dumbbell snatch, Lee was getting faster there. Dan slowed down a tad more on his box jump overs. You can see he's flagging a little bit now, but still grafting away, which is great to see. He's getting a little bit clumsy. That's where the fatigue's setting in. Bottom left, Lee's speed still good. Georgia, again, she's picked up that speed a little bit more. Again, Emma bottom right, she's pretty quick there. She's been quicker than them middle rounds, that's for sure. That urgency in between transitions for Emma and Georgia was really good there as well. Let's see how it is for Lee on this next transition after he's done them box jump overs. Again, walking over, as soon as he goes down, he's straight back up. He is. Great stuff. That's awesome to see as well. Just that little bit more urgency on your last couple of rounds. Like, it's free speed on those transitions. If you can just speed them up, you're probably not going to feel that much different, especially on these later rounds, if you kind of take your time a little bit more. Dumbbell snatch speed, Emma and Georgia are going pretty quick there. So's Reggie on his box jump overs, so's Dan on the dumbbell snatch. Big finish here from Emma. Look how quick she's sliding that first leg off now, it's super quick. That outside foot is almost off the box, it's like ready to just ping off. Same for Georgia. See Reggie on his wall walks just struggling there, it's just getting a little bit sloppy at the end, and there's time. Thanks for tuning in, I hope you found that helpful, whether you're going to redo or not. There should be plenty there for you to pick up on, to improve on things in training going forward. If you can give us a follow on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel, JST Compete, that would be great. See you at the next one for 22.2.